Hi everyone, welcome back, coin enthusiasts and history lovers. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American numismatic history, the 1943 Lincoln wheat penny, also famously known as the steel cent. This little coin may look ordinary at first glance, but it carries with it a powerful story from one of the most turbulent times in world history, World War II. A coin that was born out of wartime necessity, surrounded by myths, riddled with varieties, and today, highly sought after by collectors around the globe. In this video, we'll explore the history, production, composition, varieties, myths, errors, and modern-day value of the 1943 Lincoln wheat penny. By the end, you'll understand why this single-cent coin is considered one of the most legendary in American history. So, let's begin our journey into the world of the 1943 wheat penny. Chapter 1, the historical context. To truly appreciate the 1943 wheat penny, we must step back in time to the early 1940s. The world was at war. The United States had entered World War II after the attack on Pearl Harbor in December 1941. Every aspect of American life was affected. Factories shifted to war production, families rationed food and supplies, and the government redirected resources to support the war effort. One of the critical resources in short supply during the war was copper. Copper was essential for producing shell casings, ammunition, electrical wiring, and countless military components. The U.S. government realized that even the copper used in making 1-cent coins could be redirected to the war effort. At the time, the Lincoln wheat cent, introduced in 1909, had always been made mostly of copper, with a small percentage of tin and zinc. But by 1942, every ounce of copper was considered valuable for military use. In 1943, the U.S. Mint made a bold and historic decision: replace copper in pennies with another metal. Chapter 2, the birth of the steel penny. The solution was to make pennies from steel coated with zinc. The core was plain carbon steel, and it was given a thin zinc coating to prevent rust. This new cent weighed 2.70 grams, slightly lighter than the traditional 3.11 gram copper cents. Its color was a shiny gray, looking more like a dime than a penny. The U.S. Mint struck these coins at 3 facilities: Philadelphia, No Mint Mark; Denver, D Mint Mark; San Francisco, S Mint Mark. In total, over 1 billion steel cents were produced in 1943, making them one of the most common coins ever minted. But despite the huge numbers, the coin quickly became controversial. Chapter 3, public reaction and problems. The public immediately noticed the difference. For decades, pennies had been brown or reddish copper, but now they were silvery gray. People often mistook the new penny for a dime. Another issue was durability. The thin zinc coating wore off easily, exposing the steel core to moisture and causing rust. In circulation, many steel cents quickly developed ugly dark spots or corroded entirely. Banks and businesses complained, and citizens disliked the new design. Although the 1943 penny fulfilled its purpose of saving copper for the war effort, it was not considered successful in everyday use. By 1944, the Mint abandoned steel and returned to a mostly copper composition, this time recycling spent shell casings from the war to make the coins. Thus, the 1943 steel penny remains unique in history as the only year pennies were struck primarily from steel. Chapter 4, rare varieties and errors. Now, here's where things get even more fascinating. While billions of steel pennies were minted in 1943, a few remarkable mistakes occurred, creating some of the most valuable coins in existence today. The 1943 copper cent. Some leftover copper planchets from 1942 accidentally entered the presses in 1943. These resulted in genuine 1943 copper wheat pennies, one of the most famous error coins in U.S. history. Only a handful are known to exist, with examples selling at auction for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in some cases, over $1 million. The 1944 steel cent. Similarly, when the Mint returned to copper in 1944, a few steel planchets were left in the presses. These created 1944 steel cents, another rarity highly prized by collectors. Other errors: collectors have also identified misstrikes, double dies, and improperly plated examples of the 1943 penny. Some coins show missing zinc coating, leading to rusted surfaces. Others were struck on the wrong planchets, creating exotic errors worth thousands of dollars. Chapter 5, collectability and myths. The 1943 penny has been the subject of myths for decades. One of the most common is the belief that all 1943 pennies are rare and valuable. In truth, the steel versions are extremely common, with millions still in existence today. However, because of the unusual look and the World War II connection, even the ordinary steel pennies are popular among collectors. They often serve as a gateway for new numismatists beginning their collections. Average values: a typical circulated 1943 steel penny is worth between 10 cents and $1. Uncirculated examples with original luster can fetch $5 to $25. The rare 1943 copper cents, however, can sell for $100,000 to over $1 million depending on condition. Because of these extremes, many people over the years have searched through jars of old coins, hoping to find that one lucky copper penny among the gray steel ones. Chapter 6. The legacy of the 1943 wheat penny. The 1943 steel cent represents more than just money. It is a symbol of how a nation mobilized every resource during wartime, even down to its smallest coin. It also highlights the creativity and adaptability of the U.S. Mint, which managed to create billions of coins under unusual circumstances. Today, the steel penny is cherished as a piece of World War II history. Whether you own a common example or dream of finding a rare copper version, the 1943 penny connects us directly to that era. For collectors, it remains one of the most iconic coins of the 20th century. Chapter 7. Tips for collectors. If you're looking to collect 1943 pennies, here are some tips. 1. Check with a magnet. Steel cents are magnetic, while the rare copper ones are not. This is the quickest way to rule out imposters. Point 2. Examine the surface, look for original zinc coating and avoid heavily rusted examples. Point 3. Seek higher grades. Brilliant uncirculated coins show off the unique look of the steel cent. 4. Beware of fakes. Many counterfeits exist, especially of the copper version. Always authenticate rare varieties through reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC. The 1943 Lincoln wheat penny may be small in size, but it tells a story as large as the world itself. Born from wartime necessity, disliked by the public, yet immortalized by history, this coin is a true American legend. Whether you see it as a collector's treasure, a symbol of resilience, or a reminder of the sacrifices made during World War II, the 1943 steel cent will always have a place in numismatic history. So the next time you come across a gray-colored penny from 1943, take a moment to hold it in your hand and imagine the history it has witnessed. White heavy checkmark. And that wraps up today's deep dive into the 1943 Lincoln wheat penny. If you enjoyed this exploration of numismatic history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories about coins from around the world. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy collecting.